I think the task force is doing a lot of the right steps to ensure that we're creating an environment for women to take on more leadership roles.
There's different types of leadership. You know, do you want to lead people? Do you want to lead a process? Do you want to lead leaders?
There's a woman leader and a male leader. We're really the two sides of the same coin where we just balance each other out.
I feel that anyone can really be a leader. It just really depends on how you lead, and that's what sets you apart.
The more women you have in a decision-making room, I think the more balanced the decisions that are going to come out.
Women have a lot to offer to organizations, and I think we have varying different perspectives that are all beneficial to organizations.
I'm an immigrant. I was born in India and I grew up in the Middle East. Growing up where I did, I had the opportunity to have friends from all different backgrounds, and then when I moved to the US for college, I lived in 2 different states before finally settling in Georgia. And that early exposure to those different backgrounds I think were really key to helping me learn how to adapt and absorb new information. When I first started out in leadership roles, it was very much about public service, just being in this country and the opportunities that came with it. I knew that that was one way I wanted to give back, so just having that public service mindset. And I think that's still there, but one thing that I've grown to realize over time, particularly with being in the technical field, is that it's great to be knowledgeable and know your subject matter and share that knowledge, but I've realized that ultimately people may not always remember what you know, but they will remember how you made them feel, and so that's something I really try to lead with. With the challenges that women can face, whether it's with their career paths or pay equity or all the different responsibilities, because there are those hurdles, it helps us become really strong, creative, tactical thinkers, because you have to figure out solutions and a way to navigate those hurdles. I think we are sort of conditioned to minimize or underestimate what we are capable of, and I would just say be proud of who you are, of your culture, of your experiences. It's okay to be imperfect. It's also okay to know what your limits are. But ultimately, whatever you choose to do, I think just finding a way to pay it forward to those who come next or even ahead of you. And in terms of mentors, my postdoctoral mentor, when I was at Emory, something he said always stuck with me. I remember going into his office and saying, I've never worked on this before, it's not my track. And he just very plainly responded, when has that stopped you before? And it was like over such a little sort of task or activity, but that just stuck with me, like more than 20 years now. And so I really appreciated that he was very supportive. And that's the other thing. Yes, it's important for women to support women, but having men do the same, I think, really goes a long way. I think for sure, my mom and dad as role models, they just upped and left and moved to a new country with 3 little kids in tow, just starting out, and then sort of nudged us along to build our own lives independently in other countries. And throughout that time, the one thing they always emphasized was education, because it didn't matter where you were or what you had. Ultimately, this goes with you. And then I can't not mention my predecessor, who was in this role before I stepped in. I just really learned a lot from her, and she truly just led by example.